สวัสดีครับอาจารย์ครับเรียบร้อยครับ
Greetings to everybody. Welcome to our Zoom meeting where we discuss the Buddhist practices of charity, morality, and meditation. Everyone is welcome to join. We shall start with our first participant, which is Felicia Chen from Malaysia. Felicia.
Good evening, Ajaan. My meditation progress is good. I stay mindful and do not react in the devotion. In daily, also happy and calm all day long. Ajaan, I have a question. If we have Ubeka, do not react, is this method correct to avoid devotion to enter into Nibbana? Or if we react, then we'll fall into Brahma world. Is it correct?
No, you can react, but react with rationale, with reason, not with emotion, not with love, hate, or delusion. Just react because rationality, meaning there's a reason for reacting. People say hello to you, you say hello to them. You don't remain in Ubeka 100%. When you have to react, if there's a reason, but you don't react out of love or fear or anything like that, out of greed, or you can react with the Brahma Vihara, the four Brahma Vihara, Metta, Karuna, Mudita, Ubeka.
Okay.
If there is a need to react, if there is no need to react, then don't react.
Okay, thank you. That means mindfulness and do not react is very important, right?
Yes, because this will protect your mind from dukkha.
Okay. Thank you, Ajaan. Thank you for teaching. I'm very happy.
Okay, good.
Okay, sadhu, sadhu.
Next, Lily from Indonesia.
Good evening, Ajaan. Today I would like to ask about how to overcome sleepiness. I have tried to reduce the portion of my food intake such that I still feel a little bit hungry after eating. So it's like I often feel I still feel hungry throughout the day, but then I don't feel that it helps much with the sleepiness during meditation. And sometimes I even feels that it becomes even sleepier compared to my when I eat in my normal portion. And currently I don't have any access to practice in a scary place to overcome this sleepiness. So what else can I do to deal with this sleepiness, Tanajan?
Don't just keep walking, doing walking meditation when you feel sleepy.
Okay, yeah, that's what I'm doing now, because when I do sitting meditation and I tend to doze off and sleep. So most of the time I spend my time doing walking meditation, Tanajan.
Good. And reduce more of your food intake. Fast for a few days.
Oh, okay, but in the past when I tried fasting, I also feel sleepy. It's like when the body is weak, I don't know why, but I become sleepy. So it's like I don't know whether it's effective for me or not.
Then walk. If you feel sleepy, just keep walking.
Oh, okay, so I still try to do fasting.
Fasting, walking, and always maintaining mindfulness. These are the three things you have to do in order to overcome your hindrance.
Okay, although when I do fasting in the past, it's like the mind feels much more agitated. So it's like I don't know whether it helps
So
to.
you need to have mindfulness to keep it from agitating. You have to keep reciting Buddha or keep on chanting all day long, all the time.
Okay, so even though I still feel sleepy, then I just still stick to Budo and do the
Buddha
walking
or do chanting.
and thing.
Recollection of death can also help.
Recollection of that. Okay.
That sooner or later you're gonna die. So if you're lazy, you're never gonna get anywhere from your laziness. And eventually your time will be up. So use your time wisely.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, then. Okay.
Your body is useless. It's only good for practice. That's all it is good for. And if you don't use it for practice, then you're wasting your life, wasting your time, wasting your precious commodity of resources, which is your body, spending it eating, sleeping. So you end up like a pig, ready for the slaughterhouse. Think like this. You want to be a pig, then go ahead, sleep and eat, enjoy your food, enjoy your sleep. Then you'll be nice and fat for the slaughterhouse. Or you want to be skinny like the Buddha and ready for Nibbana. Okay?
Okay, then Ajahn. Thank you.
All right. Next, Ajaan Suchart from USA, Maryland, Silver Spring. Sajal, can you hear me? I think you freeze. Okay, you turn on somehow your signal comes on and off. Your internet connection is not stable.
I think I the host.
Something wrong with your router or your
Actually, it's a
Wi-Fi.
little bit because I'm in the basement. I have no today, but
Can you move to another location?
Once again, the biography.
Can you move to another location because it's not working properly? Cannot hear what you say. Try again, okay? I'll come back to you later. I'll go next to Nandapat from Ubon Ratchathani.
ค่ะนมัสการค่ะท่านอาจารย์ Tonight I would like to ask the question ค่ะท่านอาจารย์ May you kindly explain more about the wording we are the invisible man again ค่ะท่านอาจารย์ I am not sure I totally understand.
The one who tells your body what to do is not your body. It's the invisible man. The one who knows, the one who thinks. The mind is the invisible man. Your body cannot do anything without the order from the invisible man. The invisible man must say, get up, walk, eat, run, get angry, get mad, love, hate. This all from the invisible man, the mind. The body just like a telephone. You can tell it to connect to the internet, call somebody, watch some movies, or do whatever you want with the phone. The invisible man is the user of the body, like you using the phone. You're the user of the phone. Okay.
Okay ค่ะท่านอาจารย์ค่ะ
The body is just an instrument.
ค่ะ
And it will break down. Then the invisible man, the user, will go buy a new one, buy a new instrument, buy a new body.
ค่ะ
Reborn with a new body. But the invisible man still is the same man, same character, same everything. No change.
In the next slide.
Yeah.
ค่ะ
Okay, good.
Thank you ค่ะท่าน
It depends what you do with the invisible man in this life. You can improve it or you can degrade it. It's up to you. If you follow the three teaching of the Buddha, you're improving the invisible man to perfection. Abstain doing evil, abstain doing bad karma, do only good karma, and purify the invisible man from defilements. This is what you want to do with your invisible man. You want to improve it, upgrade it. Yeah. Like from Windows 10 to Windows 11. Yeah. Do you have the hardware for it or not? Can your body do the job or not? It's up to your body.
โอเคค่ะท่านอาจารย์ I totally understand ค่ะท่านอาจารย์
Okay. Your body is like the hardware. Your mind is like the software. Okay. You want to upgrade your software. Okay. Next question from Singapore.
Good evening, Ajahn. Tonight I have a question, two related questions regarding the 5 hindrances. For the benefit of many of us here who are still struggling to achieve the jhana state in meditation. So may Ajahn have compassion and kindly explain for the first question, why did the Buddha preach the 5 hindrances sutra to the monks? Then second thing, regarding the first hindrance, which is sensuous desires, may Ajahn kindly elaborate on it, especially regarding sexual activities for householders who are still living with their spouses. So may Ajahn have compassion and kindly explain why did the Buddha preach the 5 hindrances sutra, and what are the dangers or disadvantages of the first hindrances, especially the sexual activities for the householders. Thank you.
Well, the 5 hindrances are the obstacle to jhana. So if anyone wants to get into jhana, must know how to deal with these hindrances, how to get rid of them. And the way to get rid of them is just to, to follow what he tells us to do. I don't want to spend time talking about it again, because I used to talk about it many times before. So you have to go and study the way to get rid of the 5 hindrances. As far as the sensual pleasure, the way is to use the 8 precepts. You have to keep the 8 precepts in order to restrain your sensual pleasure, desire, or cravings. So you cannot have any sensual activities if you keep the 8 precepts. Okay. So if you want to succeed in meditation, you at least have to keep the 8 precepts and live alone. Don't be near the 5 sensual objects. Go to remote places, away from the form, sound, smell, taste, and tactile objects that you are surrounded by in the city, in the town. Everywhere you go in the city, you see pictures, you see visuals that will attract your cravings. You hear sound, you smell, you taste. All these things all will stimulate your sensual cravings. So you want to be as far away as possible from these sensual objects if you want to get into jhana. So by keeping the 8 precepts, it's the first step. Then the next step is to go to remote places, away from the sensual objects. Or isolate yourself. If you're in the city, you can isolate yourself in the room, lock yourself up in the room all day, and make your room empty. No sensual objects to stimulate your cravings. And then keep practicing mindfulness to fight against your sensual cravings, which are brewing inside your mind all the time. If you don't use mindfulness, you cannot keep it from brewing up. So you need many things. You need mindfulness. You have to need isolation from the sensual objects by keeping the precepts and staying in remote places. And then when you're all alone, then you have to maintain mindfulness all the time. Okay.
Okay, yeah. Thank you, Ajaan.
Belinda, Singapore.
Ajaan, no questions today.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Ajaan.
Next, Kenneth from Switzerland, professor.
Good evening, Ajaan. I would like to ask a question, check one thing with you, because I noticed over time, over a long period of time, I've started to become more receptive to things like acts of kindness and generosity in the people around me. And I think these things were already there before, but I just wasn't receptive to them at the time. So my question is, would this be considered like a result of the practice?
Yes, the more you have equanimity and or calm, the more contentment you have. So the less need for having anything like money, the less the need to spend money on yourself. So then you have lots of money left. So you want to spend it on other people, to help other people. You have compassion, and you also have metta or loving kindness. It's part of the result from your practice. The more calm your mind becomes, the more equanimity and contentment you have. Then the more loving kindness, and compassion, and sympathetic joy you will have when you deal with people. So yes, but you have to be careful though. If your meditation work isn't yet complete, you sometimes can be dragged away from your meditation work by your compassion and your your desire to help other people. So you have to always remind that you have to help yourself first. The Buddha said, help yourself first. After you finish your work, then you can help other people. But in the meantime, if you come across something that you can do or help do it, but take it as just a temporary diversion. Don't take it as the main occupation.
Okay.
Some people forget meditation and they end up doing a lot of charity work because they feel joy, they enjoy, and they have happiness, and they forget about their own work. And there are still work that they need to do.
Okay. Yeah. I also notice, not just in myself, but if I observe other people who are engaging in doing good things, kindness and generosity, then that brings a sense of happiness to me as well. So
yes, it helps the world live better. The Buddha said kindness or metta is the one that supports the well-being of the world. Without compassion or love, the world will be in chaos, will be in trouble. But with love and compassion, the world will live in peace and harmony. So we need to do both. I mean, if we're not meditating and we are out about and dealing with people, then we want to do charity or compassion for people. But when we are on our meditation mode, then we forget about doing charity work and completely and concentrate on our meditation work until we finish our work. Like the Buddha, he never taught anybody during his 6 years of practices. But after he became enlightened, then he had time to consider what he should do next, what should be his next move. And he decided the next move is to help other people become enlightened. But not before he became enlightened.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, that's very, very clear. Thank you, Tanajan.
All right. Are you out of on holiday now?
Yeah, the teaching semester finished last week, so we just have a couple of weeks of exams and then the summer vacation. So
Then you will have to move to a new location.
yeah, I'm already starting the process of moving. You can see some of my things behind me.
Yeah, it's all empty
Already
now.
empty.
Yeah, okay, good.
So over the next few weeks, I'll be moving.
Okay, hope everything works out fine for you.
Thank you, Tanajan. Thank you.
Okay. Next, Gary from Singapore.
Thanajan, good evening. No questions from me tonight. Just listening in. Thank you.
Alfredo from the Amazon, Brazil.
Hi, Bante.
How are you?
Good, thanks.
When will you go into the Amazon for your meditation?
I stay in 1985.
1985.
In Amazon.
In Amazon. For how long?
I went to Bolivia and Peru.
Oh, I see. Not in Brazil.
No, not in Brazil.
Why? No, Amazon.
Travel.
I thought Amazon is also in Brazil.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Yes, is near Amazon in Bolivia and Peru has a lot of green pictures, green places. The same Amazon.
It's a big forest.
Big forest. Peru, Bolivia,
Argentina. No,
Argentina. Yes, very big forests.
Yeah.
Thanks, Bante, for 10 paramitas.
10
that you
parameters.
that you say. Very
Okay,
good.
Good. Are you
Yes.
developing them?
Yes, when 10 years ago, when I was Mahayana practice, I write a book about 6 parameters in Mahayana. The 6 parameters is Upekkha. The 6
Ubeka,
parameters
yes, the sixth one is Ubeka.
is in Mahayana teachers.
Mm.
When I was Mahayana, 10 parameters is very good to practice, né?
That's right.
Very
It
good.
will help you become enlightened.
Yes. I like a lot.
If you want to become enlightened, you need to have the 10 parameters.
Yes.
The 10 parameters.
Yes. Any people's Bantes say that people's trying jhanas for jhana is the same of enlightenment. It's not truth, né, Bante?
Jhana alone is not enlightenment. Jhana alone is ubeka.
Yes.
But it's a temporary ubeka, not a permanent ubeka. You
Yes.
need wisdom to make the ubeka from jhana to become permanent. Then it becomes nibbana.
Yes. But with more jhana is more facility, né, Bante?
What do you mean by more facility?
More facility to 10 parameters. With
More
samadhi
power.
with samadhi is more facility to practice, né, Bante?
Yes, more energy, more strength.
More energy.
Yeah, more strength.
Yes, I think the main practice is samadhi, né, Bante? The main practice is samadhi, né?
That's right, mindfulness. That's what the Buddha said, the 4 foundation of mindfulness.
Yes, anapanasati.
Yeah, when you have mindfulness, then you will have equanimity or ubeka. Then you can then develop wisdom, seeing the 3 characteristics of existence and see the 4 noble truths.
Yes.
Without ubeka, your mind will keep thinking about food, about drinks, about watching movies and everything else, but not the 3 characteristics of existence.
Yes. Is there a people, I don't know you know him, the name is Eckhart Tolle. You know Eckhart Tolle?
I usually don't know names, but I might know the person, but I have to see the person.
The Eckhart Tolle is a philosopher, not Buddhist, but he not Buddhist, but the teachings is our Buddhist. Is the same Buddhist.
Yeah.
They know sati in present moment, only present moment. But they know talk about samadhi. They know talk only sati without samadhi is. But the teachings him very people's like the teachers. But only sati without samadhi. Sati, present moment, focus.
Yes,
this focus is the same samadhi.
They don't have the complete picture yet. They only see just part of the picture.
Yes.
The Buddha see the complete picture. You have to have mindfulness. You have to have ubeka. Then you also need to have wisdom.
Yes.
To complete the work of purification of the mind.
Yes.
Okay. Good.
Okay, Bante. Thanks, Bante.
Okay.
When you can go to Amazon, you take with me. I leave you. I take you there.
No, you have to go alone. It's good to go alone. Better to go alone. Because if I go with you, we end up talking all the time. See, so you want to be alone. That's why you go to the Amazon.
Yeah, you travels. You like to travel, but
before I was a monk, yes. Before I was monk, but after a monk, I didn't travel anywhere except inside. And now I travel inside. I go into the space of my mind.
I don't travel too. I don't travel a lot too. Yes.
Go inside.
Practice.
Your mind is a good place to visit. The space of your mind is a good place to visit. Emptiness.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. You don't have to pay money like the millionaires. They have to pay millions of dollars to get into space. Here, you don't need anything except mindfulness.
Yes.
You don't have to be rich to enter the space of your mind.
Yes.
Everybody can enter into the space of their own mind. All they need is to have mindfulness, constant mindfulness, continuous mindfulness. Okay.
Yes, I like to practice too.
Okay, that's the best place to travel to. No need to go anywhere else. The Buddha have discovered the undiscovered world of the mind, the unseen world of the mind. Okay.
Yes.
Go there. This is the best place to visit. My recommendation. If you want to go on a holiday, go inside your mind. Visit the space of your mind.
Yes, Bante. Humilde,
Okay.
humilde.
All right, good. Next, Philip from Malaysia.
Good evening, Tanajan. I got the question with regards to meditation and also the practice on every day. I find that the more mindfulness practice that I do, I'm starting to notice that there are moments in my everyday life that the mind moves off from the center, moves off from mindfulness. I just noticed I don't have more mindfulness from previously. Is that a common phenomena that happens?
Yes, it's not just stable. So your mindfulness is still not stable. It keeps fluctuating from being mindful to not being mindful.
Yeah, but it doesn't pull so far like previously anymore. It just moves slightly, and then I'll notice, and I'll just pull it back.
You need to be more mindful.
Is there any way to what do you call, make it more?
Yes, go live alone for a while, and you can do it all day long, continuously.
Okay.
Because in your daily life, you are usually pulled away from your mindfulness by things around you. So you want to be alone where nothing will pull you away from your concentration. So that's why people go to meditation retreat to recharge or to generate more mindfulness. And for those who are serious practitioners, they stay remote all the time. They go on remote. They don't want to be near people or things. That's the only way to be able to develop or increase your mindfulness to the highest level.
Understand, Anja.
Okay.
Yes.
Anything else?
No questions for now.
Okay. Next, Diana from Wales.
Hello, Tanajan.
Greetings.
My books came. Thank you very much.
Okay. What book is it?
I've got Forest Leaves, The Way to the Heart, and in commemoration of the Venerable Ajaan Mahabua. That one.
Okay, good. I hope you enjoy reading them.
I will. Thank you so much. I'm really, really grateful. I had last week something you said helped me. Somebody was bullying me, and I remembered what you said was just to let them.
Yeah. What can you do? Just remain calm and let them do whatever they want to do. It's like you're in the middle of a storm. What can you do?
Yeah, and it was really helpful because it's not always easy, but it does help just to go, well, there we are.
Yeah. You can change people. You can stop people from doing what they're doing. But you can stop yourself from getting angry or sad or mad.
And it's sad for people, isn't it, when they need to do that?
Because of their delusion, they're ignorant. They think by doing that will make them feel good, but they end up feeling worse than they begin.
I've got one question. When we pray for people that have died, I pray for the repose of the soul. But is that wrong thinking in the teachings of the Buddha?
It's wrong because we cannot pray in Buddhism. We have to do only action will make things happen, not by praying to anybody. And each person have to do their own action. We cannot do other people's action, do other people's karma. Each individual has to perform their own karma, their good karma. If they want to be better, to be more happy, more peaceful with themselves, then they have to keep doing more good karma and meditation, a purification of their mind, and also abstaining from doing bad karma.
But so when people have died that we have loved in the family or friends, how do we honor them? What do we do or not do?
We can do something very slightly by making merits and share this merit with them if they happen to need them. But sometimes we don't know whether they need this merit or not, this good karma. Merit is the consequence of our good karma. We can share this with the departed ones. Normally, we just have to, we can only wish them well.
So is it like,
go ahead.
Is it like an attachment when we want to hang on to them?
That's right. If you want to do anything for them, you should do it for them when they're still alive. Like, let them know of the teaching of the Buddha. And then if they can appreciate and follow the teaching, then they will benefit from your help. But other than that, there's nothing you can do for them.
So I have to let it go.
That's right. The Buddha said everyone is the consequence of the good and bad karma. They have to reap the fruits of the good and bad karma.
Thank you, Tana.
All right. So when a person dies, a person might go to a better realm than now, or worse realm than now. It depends on the good and bad karma. No one can interfere with this process. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes. Yes. Thank you.
Okay. You're welcome. Johanna from Indonesia.
Good evening, Ajaan. So, Ajaan, you've been reminding us to meditate, to get into calm and equanimity, and also contemplate on the three characteristics of the existence. So, is it the ultimate goal of all these practices to be accepting to all kind of situations that come to us, like just let it be the way they are, Ajaan?
If you don't want to have dukkha, then that's the only way to do it.
So my question is the ultimate state of our mind that it can be is it will accept all things, whether it is pleasant or unpleasant. So we just accept it as they are.
Everything, they are natural phenomena which you cannot change. And if you happen to come across them, you just have to learn to live with them. That's all. Then you will have no dukkha. If you cannot live with them, then you will have dukkha.
So to be able to live with them and
Yes,
accept
good and
them
bad.
as they are.
That's
good and
right.
bad.
Let's merely
Then-
know. Let's merely know them. Don't try to
Let's merely
change
know.
them.
No dukkha. So that's the goal of this practice, Ajahn.
Yes, but we don't do that, right? We want to change everything we come across, right?
Sometimes it's we can do that. Sometimes we just react spontaneously without mindfulness.
That's why you have to keep practicing mindfulness all the time.
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, Ajahn, thank you for your teaching.
Okay, you're welcome. Budika. Budika, where are you from? This is your first time?
Hello,
Hello, where are you from?
I'm from Sri Lanka.
This is your first time?
No, no, no.
Or you've been here before?
Yes,
Can remember you.
yes,
Okay, you have anything to ask?
yes. Now I'm doing meditation. This is I have achieved that there is a impermanent in breath.
Impermanent what?
In breath.
In breath.
Yes.
What do you mean by in breath?
There is no continuation of the flow of the breath.
The breath, I see. Okay, the breath.
Yeah, it's in breath and out breath. There's a space in between those things.
So, what's the problem?
So after that, I have no such thoughts on control of myself.
Why? Why not?
No thoughts arising.
No thought arising.
Yes.
That's good. You want to empty your mind. So you want your mind to become still. You want your mind to become blank. Huh?
Is it a jhana state?
That's right. All you have is just the knowing and equanimity. And happiness.
Happiness, yes. Is it close to Nibbana or something like that?
Yes, temporarily but Nibbana, but not permanent Nibbana, just temporarily. You need to develop wisdom to make it permanent.
Okay, thank you, Ajahn.
Okay, so when you come out of jhana, you want to keep this equanimity, maintain this equanimity by using the wisdom to stop your defilements.
Thank you, Ajahn.
Okay, you're welcome. Get Genso from Penang.
Ajahn, no question tonight, yeah.
Okay, Sri and Czech from Vancouver. I just read an article today. They said Air Canada is gonna resume the non-stop flight from Vancouver to Bangkok in December.
Ooh. Oh, wow.
So you can fly straight from Vancouver to Bangkok, non-stop.
Wow. Non-stop. I never heard of that flight.
Well, it just came out today.
Oh. I just learned today you can travel to space for free. You don't have to go on the SpaceX. You don't have to spend $1 million to go on the SpaceX.
That's right, and it's better. It's a lot safer.
Yeah, you don't need insurance.
and the experience is more out of this world than going to space.
Yeah. Yeah. Ajahn,
Try it. It's so easy, so simple. Just be mindful all the time.
Everybody thinks that Elon Musk is brilliant, but we have a
no one can be more brilliant than the Buddha. The Buddha is the most brilliant person in the world. He was a rich man like Elon Musk.
Right.
But he didn't build rockets. Instead, he built mindfulness.
he found a free way, like the way that's even like so much better than building the SpaceX.
Building SpaceX is easier than building mindfulness. Because building mindfulness, you have to give up your wealth and go live in the forest. So that's a lot harder than building rockets and spacecrafts. Building spacecraft, all you need is just have money to hire people to build it for you. But building mindfulness, you have to do it yourself. And you have to give up your present way of life and live like a homeless person. That's the hard part. It's free ticket, but it's hard to get this ticket.
Like you say, Ajahn, you say nothing is no pain, no gain, right? So
that's right.
Yeah.
Okay, any question tonight?
I heard twice on your talk, the previous talk, like people ask you about Pep Pen Chana Penman. Is it like a Thai? Is it Thai saying?
Prajanman.
Sorry for my pronunciation.
Pra means venerable. In Thai, people address monk as Pra, followed by his name. My name is Suchart, so they call me Pra Suchart. Oh, and if I'm a teacher, they call Ajaan. Ajaan means teacher. So we call Pra Ajaan Man. Man is his name. Then when he became monk, he became Pra Man. And after he became a teacher, he became Pra Ajaan Man. Or sometimes we use Tan instead of Pra. Same meaning. Tan or Pra refers to venerable.
Ajahn, the saying that people ask you is Pep Pen Prat Chana Penman. Do you know that? I'm not sure if I pronounce correct. Pep Pen Prat Chana Penman, something like that. Like if you win, you become if you lose, you become monk.
Pep and Prat Chana Penman.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
If you lose, you become a monk, a holy person.
Yeah.
If you win, you become an evil, the devil.
I heard it.
Because by winning, you're hurting other people. But when you lose, you make other people happy. So you become a holy man or holy person. When you give, you let other people win. But if you try to win and make other people lose, then you become the devil. Because you will hurt other people. People will feel sad when they lose. But if they win, they will feel happy. So you want to make them feel happy by losing, let them win. But when you try to, when you are arguing with your husband, and you just decide, I'll stop. Let him say whatever he wants to say, and make him happy. See? And then he's happy, and you're happy also because you make him happy.
Yeah.
Intentional losing make the loser happy. But non-intentional losing makes the loser unhappy.
Again, Ajahn?
Intentional losing makes the loser happy. Unintentional losing makes the loser unhappy.
Ajahn, I heard you said, I heard this explanation by you before, but I also hear you say, you actually talk about another explanation of this this phrase. You're saying like the lose is like the monk lose like has to lose everything before they become a monk, like they lose their possession and things like that to become a monk. You also made that explanation before, like so I'm not sure if you remember this in another talk.
This is giving up your possession, your renunciation.
Yeah.
In order to become a monk, you have to renunciate, give up your worldly way of life, giving up your sensual pleasures. In order to get into the peace of mind, you need to give up your sensual pleasures and then practice mindfulness. You cannot have them both. You cannot practice meditation in the palace and expect to get jhana. That's why the Buddha had to leave the palace and practice in the forest. Because sensual pleasures are hindrances to your jhana.
So the Buddha, when he had the jhana when he was 9 years old, that's like accidental.
That was something he already had installed in his mind, but had lacked the surrounding or the condition to allow it to come forward. So one day when he was entirely left alone, not being surrounded by people or things, then the condition was right for this jhana to come forward. But only briefly. Then after a while, all the attendants came back and started to surround him and to sing song and to present things to make him happy. Then that jhana then has to retreat back into the depth of the mind. But he can remember the experience. But he was only a child. But he knew there was something special inside him. So this is the one that he thought this is the thing he should seek for, because it was the best experience of his life. And he knew he could not do it if he lives in the palace, because he is constantly surrounded by sensual objects. And he cannot tell people this. You just have to run away quietly. If he talk, people will think he's crazy, right? So if you want to run away from your husband, don't tell him. Just go quietly. Well, actually, when I ordained, I didn't tell anybody except my mother and father.
Oh.
I didn't tell my friends, anybody. It's not. I went quietly.
Wow. But you did tell your parents.
I have to, because in order to ordain, I was asked to bring my parents to.
Oh.
If I didn't have to tell them, I wouldn't have told them either. I just disappear. I just disappear. I just want to disappear, because then they cannot bother me. If they know, then they'll keep coming to visit me, to see me.
Yeah, that's really wise, because sometimes people might convince you not to do it, or try to convince you. Yeah.
I even had a friend who happened to know I was ordained. He sent me a job offer. I told him it's too late. I I no longer want to work. Because in Thailand, people thought you ordain temporarily. See, that's the tradition for people to ordain temporarily.
Oh, I see.
Something like that. So it's not usual for someone to ordain permanently.
Wow. That's a cute story.
Okay, anything else?
Ajaan, I have questions regarding meditations. I've been trying using Anapanasati and reciting Buddho. I found that reciting Buddho sometimes it can get to the pleasantness of the feeling. But whereas like Anapanasati, it won't be that quick, you know. So I'm not sure, like, should we keep
You can choose. You can choose either one. Which one works better for you? Then use that one. People have different preferences.
But we have to try like for a few months, right? Like when you say it works better, meaning like it can come easier with this method.
Well, it depends on how much you practice. If you practice 1 hour, it might take a few months to find out. If you practice all day long, it might just take 1 or 2 days to find out.
Oh. So Ajaan, during your practice last times, so like you're saying like because you practice mindfulness like whole day long, and then you already know which method is suited for me or for you, then you just pick up that method.
That's right.
Okay. And another question is, Ajaan, what is a restraint in sankhara? You mentioned before, like
restraining your thought. Sankhara is your thoughts. Practice of mindfulness is to restrain your sankhara. Or else you keep thinking all day long without stopping.
Yeah. Is that what Buddha means, asava? Like, it's uncontrolled.
Asava means the defilements. But usually defilement comes with thinking. You need thinking to spread your asava, your defilement. You have to think first. You have to think about something, then you will have the desire or the craving for that something.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Ajaan.
Thank you, Ajaan.
Alvin.
Good evening, Ajaan. I don't have any question.
No question. We have a person named user. Is this legitimate or not? Or someone trying to interfere with our meeting? We had just one just now. Came up with a dirty look and then disappeared.
I just blocked his video.
So this user we can skip, right?
Yeah, we can skip.
Well, no one turns on the video anymore. I think that's all the people that turn on the video. The rest just I guess mean they don't want to ask anything. So I just have to go to Facebook now for the question. Do we have any questions from Facebook or YouTube?
Yes, there are 4 questions from Facebook, Ajaan. The first question is from the multiversal unity. Dear Ajaan, can wisdom be developed in Arupa jhana? Thank you.
Now, when you're in jhana, you don't develop wisdom. You have to come out of jhana. Because in jhana, you don't think, you cannot think. Only when you come out of jhana, then you can think, then you can develop wisdom by directing the mind to think about the 3 characteristics of existence.
There are 3 questions from Ai. And the first one is, Namaskara Ajaan. Does everyone who attained enlightenment must have attained jhana? Thank you.
Yes, it's part of the requirements. Samma Samadhi is the jhana or ubekha. You need ubekha.
And the second question is, can jhana be attained even he is not a Buddhist?
Yes, anybody with mindfulness can attain to jhana. Before the Buddha's time, there were many what we call holy men who practiced samadhi, and they could enter into jhana. The two teachers that the Buddha went to study with, they all had entered the arupa jhana, I think. But most jhana are not yet enlightenment, are not yet nibbana. In order to get to nibbana, you need to develop wisdom to see the Four Noble Truths and the three characteristics of existence. Then you will enter into nibbana.
And the third question is, if jhana can be obtained even though he is not a Buddhist, but then he study Buddhism, can he attain enlightenment? Thank you.
Yes, that's what happened during the time of the Buddha. When the Buddha went to teach those monks, those holy men who already had jhana, they became enlightened right away after he finished his discourse or his talk. See, when he taught the five ascetics, they became enlightened right away after he finished his talk. And then he went to another group of holy men and taught them the fire sermon. And I think there were 500 of them listening. And the Buddha said that all sensual objects are like fire. And when they heard that, they understood, they became enlightened right away, all 500 of them at the same time, because they all had jhana. But nowadays we heard the same talk, but none of us can become enlightened. That's because we have no jhana. If we have jhana, when we read the discourses of the Buddha, we can become enlightened right away.
And one more new question, Ajahn. Question from George Lim. Dear Ajahn, is it possible to improve our samveka? Thank you.
I'm not sure what samveka means, so have to translate it for me better. I'll go to Sajao Khan then. You're back, Sajao. I think your connection is better now.
Yeah, I didn't have any questions, so I was quite okay, because I think somehow today my side is a little bit choppy, so I couldn't ask any question.
Okay, now we can let people who wants to ask more questions ask the question if they like. Raise your hand and then turn on the microphone. Sulan just happened to come in right away. Usually the last person in the room. Okay, Sulan.
Ajahn, yeah, nice to see you again. Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, okay.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, I have a question. Yeah. So I was just wondering if like in Nibbana, is there still the Dhamma, and can the Dhamma be used to describe Nibbana?
What do you mean the Dhamma, the teaching, or what?
Yeah.
Well, the Buddha taught 45 years when he already became enlightened.
So in Nibbana, the Dhamma still applies?
We have some noise. This is from your end. Somebody.
Yeah,
okay.
I got some noise, background noise.
Okay. No, see, Nibbana means your mind is without defilement, but you might still think the same way before you reach Nibbana. You can still think, but now you think without greed, hate, or delusion. Once you have reached Nibbana, you stop thinking in terms of hate, greed, or delusion anymore. You think in terms of Dhamma only.
Oh, okay. So in Nibbana, everyone would still be thinking along the lines of the Dhamma.
Yeah, they won't think about getting rich or having a wife or husband or something like that. They only think about how to help people understand the Dhamma teach of the Buddha.
Then would they still be interested to help unenlightened beings?
That's why they teach it. If they're not interested, then they don't teach.
So there's a way for them to connect to unenlightened beings too.
What do you mean another way of connecting?
Meaning that they can communicate.
If they're still alive, they can talk to each other. The Buddha can talk to his noble disciples. But when they die, then they don't connect anymore.
Oh, okay.
If they're still alive, they still talk to each other. When they see each other, they can talk. Like the Buddha talked to his disciples. Ananda talked to Sariputta, talked to Mokkallana. But when their body dies, then they don't connect anymore. They go their own way.
Oh, okay. Then isn't it a bit pity that they don't stay connected anymore?
Well, that's the way that's how the way how things work. Like when your phone breaks down, then you cannot connect with other people, right? Okay, so when the body breaks down, then they have no tools to connect with the other body.
That's true.
But they still leave a lot of the teachings behind, so people can still use the teaching to reach Nibbana. See, we don't have the Buddha now with us, but we study his teaching. And we study the teaching of his noble disciples. And then we can reach Nibbana that way too. We don't need them to be around all the time. We need the teaching, but we don't need their physical body. But it would be nice if they're still around, because it might make it easier for us to understand the Dhamma.
Yeah.
Because what we don't understand, we can ask them right away. So. But if you read the books, if you don't understand them, you don't know where to go to ask, who to ask. So you have to ask yourself, what does this mean? And if you ask yourself long enough, you might understand.
And then if I ask myself, what does this mean, then I might understand.
Yeah, if you keep asking, keep thinking, you might be able to find the answer yourself.
Okay, yeah.
Good enough?
Yeah, thank you, Ajahn.
All right. Do you still worry? Do you still worry? Do you still worry?
Oh, I think I'm still stressful at work. And
so why work? What makes you stressful? Why work then?
Yeah, I don't know what to do.
Do something that doesn't make you stressful.
Yeah.
Meditation. Meditation will eliminate all your stress. Doesn't cost money to meditate.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll leave this to you to decide. You want stress or no stress?
Yeah.
If you want stress to keep working. If you don't want stress, then you should stop working and meditate instead.
Oh.
It happened to me. I used to work before and I knew it was stressful. So I stopped working and then I started doing meditation. And now I don't have any stress.
Mm.
If you keep working, you will always have stress till there, as long as you work. Ask anybody who works, whether they have stress or not.
Mm.
And I can guarantee you that everybody will say they have stress.
Mm.
Even if they say they enjoy working, they still have stress.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm. Okay. Thank you, Ajahn.
Anybody else would like to?
Yes, we have some more questions from Facebook.
Okay.
2 more questions from Facebook and YouTube. First question from the multiversal unity. Dear Ajahn, can we see the Four Noble Truths in Arupajana?
No, you don't see anything in June and jhana. It's empty.
And next question from Sento. Dear Ajahn, how to control hate and anger? Anumodana.
Your hate or anger, hatred or anger arise from your expectation or your want. So you have to reduce your expectation or want. Yeah. If you don't want anything, then you won't get angry with anybody. You only get angry because you want something, and then when you don't get what you want, then you get angry. So try to reduce or eliminate your want, or your cravings, or your desire, or expectation. Just take things as they come. Then you'll never get angry. You can take sunshine or rain. You can take hate speech or love speech, whatever, Just take them as they come. Then you won't get angry. The reason why we get angry because we want something and we get something opposite. We want love and we get hate, so we get angry. We want money and we lose money, so we get angry, right? So don't want anything. Don't expect anything. Just take things as they come. Then you'll never get angry. Is that all?
That's all,ท่านอาจารย์
Okay. Anybody would like to comment if there's no question? Okay, Sajalka.
Thank you, Tanajan. The Dhammacakka Pavattana Sutta and the question that kind of I have read, but it's not clear to me that is like a very dramatic. These things happening like waves and waves of things are happening in his mind and that night of his enlightenment, did all these things kind of fresh things come into his mind, or did he have all these things already stage by stages? Because he, through his historical Buddha, actually moved from teacher to teacher to teacher, right? Kalama Sutta started, and then he's still, I think, still he had the intuitive feeling that none of these things are going to end dukkha. But I think that night, how is that singularly different, or is there a continuity there? That is the thing kind of intrigues me. I just wanted to hear from you.
Well, it's not for us to find out, really. It's not our business. Our business is follow his teaching. He didn't ask us to figure out how he became enlightened. He asked us to follow the Noble Eightfold Path. So don't waste your time on something useless. Spend your time on something useful, something that will make you become enlightened. Better. Okay. I never thought of this question before, and I never did. It doesn't matter to me how he became enlightened. What matters is what did he discover? That's more important.
No, actually, that I would like to kind of rephrase that, Tanajan, because like when you read these things, then the Dhammacakka Pavattana Sutta actually comes across as very dramatic and like waves and waves of things are happening. This arose, then this arose in me. On the other places of the Tipitaka, such things are actually more like directions to meditations and are very self-consistent stories. So is there something like a discontinuity? This is, of course, you are totally correct by pointing that these questions about what is Sotapanna and all those things, we should be actually doing the practice. Of course, the practice is faltering along, and as you said a minute ago, that you have to give up the work, give up the responsibilities and things like that. Then only, and you have to go full time into practice. Then only you can see progress. Otherwise, it will be choppy, and then we have all this entertainment questions or whatever to just ask. Yeah, I think I take your answers in good stride. Thank you very much.
Okay. Okay, check.
Just now somebody asked about Sangvega. I just want to let you know the definition. I search on Google.
Okay, what does it mean?
It says Sangvega is a Buddhist term which indicates a sense of shock, dismay, and spiritual urgency to reach liberation and escape from the suffering of samsara. I guess it's urgency. I guess, Ajahn. Urgency to live to escape from samsara.
Like the Buddha, when he saw the the three signs, he see an old person, he see a sick person, and he see a dead person. And the fourth, he saw the holiness. These are the Buddha's Sangvega that push him to go and ordain to leave the palace. So you have to see something like this, seeing yourself as an old lady, useless old lady, or see a sick lady lying on bedridden, or seeing a corpse, seeing yourself becoming a corpse in a funeral service. And this will then spur you to the spiritual path, and also see the holiness, a holy woman. I don't want to be biased, Nowadays you have to be very political correct. Or else you will be criticized for being sexist or whatever.
Ajahn, you're so like up with the times. You're so on point with the time, like
Yeah, because the news is right on your screen anytime. You can turn on it, watch the news, read the news anytime. And you get the latest news. Yes, thank you for your translation. Yeah. Urgency, spiritual urgency. The need for you to see the uselessness of your worldly life. That it will eventually end in aging, sickness, and death. Like I mentioned to Willie early on, she said she keeps lazy, she keeps being sleepy. So she needs some urgency, like contemplating on death, for instance. But this is what we need. The Buddha teaches us to every day contemplate on the nature of the body. That being born is subjected to aging, sickness, death, and separation from your loved ones. Sooner or later, this will happen. So if you really take it seriously, then you know what's the point of remaining in this world and continuing what we do. You never get anything out spiritually from doing these things. Only when we leave this householder's life or worldly life and take the holy route, the spiritual route path, can we escape from this suffering. And time is running out every day. It's this countdown day, Eventually, by December 31st, we'll be counting 9, 10, 11. So one day you'll be counting this down to the last few seconds of your life. So this is what you want to get. You somehow want to get this spiritual urgency as soon as possible. The earlier the better, because you will have more time to do what you need to do. If you wait, keep procrastinating, maybe time will be on your side, because the older you get, the more harder it will be for you to practice. And it's harder to treat an old dog a new trick. That's why people in Thailand, or at least I heard that people don't, monks, the one who ordained monk doesn't like to ordain old people. They are harder to teach because they're more stubborn than the younger people. Because they know so much already, so it's hard for them to teach them anything new, really. I know when you tell them something, I know. So you know why you become ordained. When you ordain in this, you don't know anything. You need the guidance of the monks, the teachers.
But Ajahn, I thought like the oldest, like, the hardest to practice. Also, like, because the body, like,
have more problems.
Yeah.
You have sickness. You have medical issues with your body. You cannot walk for long. You cannot sit for long. You get tired easily. You get fatigued. You get sleepy.
Yeah. So all this just like hard to get jhana, because now you're dealing with your sickness and aging. Is that part of the reason, like, for the oldest people, like, to practice?
I think part of the reason is people don't take mindfulness seriously enough. If they really take mindfulness serious, I think, like the Buddha said, you can do it in 7 days or 7 months or 7 years. But you don't take it seriously, you say, mindfulness, and you just shrug it off. Then you won't get anywhere. How long have you been attending this class and talking about mindfulness? And how much mindfulness have you developed so far?
Little bit.
Okay, just a little bit. All this time, and you only just got a little bit. So how much longer can you get more?
Yeah, we'll keep pushing.
Because you're not taking it seriously. You're taking your business more serious than taking mindfulness seriously. You're more worried about your occupation, your income, your family, your business, whatever. You never worry about your mindfulness. Have I been mindful today? Have you ever asked yourself that? Have you ever reviewed every day how much mindfulness did I practice today? So you're not taking it seriously. You think it's something noble to think about, but not something practical for you to do. What is practical is to maintain your lifestyle. That's what you do, right? Every day you do is to maintain your lifestyle, not to develop mindfulness. So you don't get any mindfulness. So you're not advancing. And you're not reflecting on the nature of your body. So you don't see the urgency, the need to be really serious with developing mindfulness. So who can help you? This is something you have to remind yourself of, push you. If you don't, then you just stuck here the way you are. We can be talking this another 5 years, and we'll be still in the same position here, talking about the same thing. Well, at least we have one, Alex Aroka. He's now in Thailand practicing.
And Gavin.
And Gavin, the two of them. Both of them are now in the monastery here. So you have to make a plan. Like you plan everything for everything else, but not for your spiritual path. So you have to make planning for your spiritual path. First step, when will I take the first step? When I'll take the second step? When will I take the third step? You have to plan, make schedule, and stick to the planning. Then you'll be moving forward that way. If you don't make any planning, you just do you only plan about your economic well-being, but you never plan about your spiritual well-being. Because they are in conflict with each other. If you want more spiritual well-being, you have to have less economic well-being. You have to have less income in order for you to have more time to develop your spiritual well-being. So these two paths are in opposition to each other. The economic well-being and the spiritual well-being. So you have to decide which one you want to take. Well, it's good if you decide to take the economic well-being. I'll be talking to you for many more years to come, because you won't go to remote places to practice. You'll come here every week and we'll talk about the same thing every week.
Tan Ajahn, like I have friends like who live in the farm, and we observe them that they live very simple. Like, I mean, for lay people, like, who have this kind of conditions will also help, like in terms of viveka, kind of like remote area, like farm and.
But it depends on what reason you're doing that for. If you do that for because you have nothing else to do better, then you still consider it to be your economic well-being, and it doesn't matter so much. But if you use it as a path, as a step for you to move closer to the spiritual path, then yes, like if you're working now in the city and you find that there's so much work, no time for practice, then you might want to move to the farm and maybe work on the farm. But working on the farm might take more time than working in the city.
No, just live in a farm and practice.
So it's not what time, even if you live in remote places, but you might not have time for your spiritual path either. If you concentrate on your economic well-being, and you want to plan more, you want to increase your income. So you will then spend all your time on working for your economic well-being. So you have to have a purpose if you live in the farm. You want to have more time for your practice. So you want to live more simple, less expenses. But working on a farm can be more expensive than working in the city sometimes. Right?
Yeah.
So that's not the answer. So don't go be farmer, not go to become a farmer. What you need is to reduce your workload, so you get more time for practicing alone. Trying to do a 4-day work week or something like that, and have 3 days off to go and meditate in a meditation retreat somewhere. In order to work less, you have to have less expense. So you have to reduce down your expenses. Cut out the expense that you don't really have to have. Live more simple that way. Cut down the luxury items you don't need. Eat simple, live simple, wear simple clothes, then you have less expenses. Okay, anybody else would like to contribute?
Thank you, Thanajaan.
Everybody's welcome. We have still another half an hour.
We have some other question from Facebook.
Okay.
2 more questions from Facebook, Ajaan, and 2 questions from Han. Ajaan, what keeps people work for peanuts? Is it avijja?
Work for peanuts. What do you mean work for peanuts?
I think it's bad action.
Yes, everything that we do are being motivated by or pushed by our ignorance of the true path of happiness, which is the path, the spiritual path taught by the Buddha. We didn't know anything about the benefit from following the Noble Eightfold Path. We didn't see the benefit from keeping the precept of meditation. We might see some benefit, but not the full benefit of meditation. We just want to meditate to decrease our stress, maybe, but we don't want to have it completely disappear. We still want to have our time to spend on our sensual pleasures.
And last question, is karma work like a machine?
The mind is like it's a mental machine. It works 24 hours a day, even during the sleep. When the body sleeps, but the mind doesn't sleep with the body. The mind creates dreams for you to experience. So yes, the mind is like a mental factory. Keep creating cravings, greed, hate, delusion, emotions, thoughts, and all the time.
Ajaan, 1 more question from Jo Chuan Jim. Dear Ajaan, if a person is declared brain dead by doctor and is on life support system, if we take away the life support system, is it same as killing? What should we do? Thank you.
Well, I don't know. Maybe this is the legal way of killing people. You have to declare them brain dead first. But they're not dead, right? They're still breathing. But maybe in legal terms, you might be able to terminate that person's life. But in the spiritual term, no, it's still considered to be killing. If you interfere with the process. But if you remove all the supporting things, this is not considered to be killing. It's just considered to be stop supporting. And let the body exist without any support, any external support. If it can continue on, let it continue on without any support. If it doesn't, then it will stop functioning. Then this is not considered to be killing. But if you take out the support and then you give them an injection to, then to stop the body from working, then this is considered to be killing. But if you just pull all the plugs from the machines that support the body, then this is not considered to be killing yet.
That's all, Thanachan.
Okay. Professor, you want to say anything? You've been quiet for a while.
I don't really feel the need to say anything, Thanajan. I'm just enjoying the conversation. It's very helpful always to hear the same message week after week.
You keep forgetting.
It's a well-known pedagogical mechanism for our students. You tell them the same thing every time, and they still don't remember. So I think it's a good method.
Because as soon as you stop, as soon as you go on, you keep thinking about other things. So you forget all about what we discussed today. That's why the Buddha said you have to constantly contemplating on the teaching once you have learning, or else you can forget.
Yeah. So I think Thanajan may be a bit frustrated. We keep coming back, but from my perspective,
not at all. I'm just
it's very helpful to.
I'm just saying the truth. That's all. But I'm not frustrated. Okay. I'm happy to be here. So don't worry.
Thank you.
I'm not complaining or anything like that. But just want to stimulate your interest in the practice more, to create more samvega. I think that's the word.
I understand. Thank you, Thanajan.
Okay. Coxing, you have a question?
Yes, Ajahn. I do have questions rising about the urgency of the spiritual practice. So I'd just like to check, Ajahn, I think the Buddha mentioned that the Buddha Dhamma will be around for about 5,000 years, and after that the Buddha Dhamma will disappear from the world. So just like to check with Ajahn, so in this present context now, which is about 2,600 years, so is the Buddha Dhamma is declining, or is it this present context, is it still conducive for practice? Because some of my Buddhist friends from other traditions, they have the thinking that in this present context, it's very difficult to practice the Dhamma now. So just want to clarify with Ajahn what is, what should be the correct thinking regarding
well, the number of people interested in practicing the teaching of the Buddha is becoming less and less. So, well, that is what it means. Eventually, no one will be interested in studying and teaching, studying and practicing the Buddha's teaching. Or there's nobody who understands the teaching to teach anyway. So eventually, the teaching will be just like a puzzle to people. To a lot of people who are not interested, they don't understand what all this teaching is about, right? There will be more like that. There will be less and less people understanding the teaching of the Buddha, or appreciate his teaching and follow his teaching. Then eventually there will be no one who will appreciate or understand the benefit of following his teaching. And even if the teaching is there, it's useless because nobody knows how to use it for the benefit. We can see nowadays that there are a lot more people practicing charity. There are a lot more less practicing keeping the precept, and there are more people meditating. So this trend will continue. There will be less meditator, less preceptor, maybe more charity. And then eventually people won't understand what's the purpose of keeping the precept. What's the purpose of meditating? I think like I heard that Buddhist temple in Japan, they don't teach you anything. They just go and pray for something on the birthday or on the whatever day. If they need something, they go to the temple and pray and give charity. Maybe give money to the monastery. And they don't even have monks to maintain the monastery. They just have the 8 preceptor who stay in the monastery, guardian. I'm not sure if this is correct or not, but from what I heard, maybe not all Buddhist monastery. There might still be some practicing monastery. So yes, there will be less interest as the world move forward, as the world become more materialistic, more advanced in material comfort. Then they don't see the need for spiritual comfort. Okay.
Make that there's need for meditation to achieve enlightenment.
Okay.
Thank you, Ajahn.
All right. Anybody else? I don't want to drag this meeting to the end. You know. Okay. Check again. Check.
Sorry, Ajahn, I just want to help with the just now somebody asked like why people work for peanuts. Sorry, it means work for very little money. Ajahn, I checked the definition.
Yes.
Working for peanuts meaning working for very little money.
Because maybe they need it for survival. You're just working for anything, right? If you cannot get good salary work, then you just have to work for anything that you can grab your hand on in order to survive, especially now with the economic downturn. You know, when people are looking for jobs and they cannot get the jobs they want. So they just have to take whatever comes along, for now anyway, in order to survive. Okay, we have Siddhartha who just came in. Siddhartha, do you have anything to say? Yeah,
good evening, Ajahn. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Yes. Yes, I have something to say. So I'm planning to fly to Thailand this Saturday because yesterday I just got an information that there is a group of meditation from the alumni of the Chulalongkorn University. They have a kind of a sponsorship for those who wants to ordain in Wat Pa. They call it a Buat Wat Pa. It has been done in 2021. So they sponsor for everyone that wants to train in at Wat Sang Tham.
Wat Sang Tham,
Yes,
Ajaan Suchart.
yes,ใช่ครับ
Good. He's a disciple of Ajahn Mahabua, so maybe that's a good place to go.
Yes, so the spirit of the group is they want to preserve those that want to become a forest monk in the tradition of Lung Ta. So they pick a disciple of Lung Ta and the place there. So I can ordain. I asked them first because I'm a foreigner and cannot speak Thai, and it seems like, oh yeah, you can come without even being able to speak Thai.
Oh,
So,
that's good news. Maybe I'll let Alex know about this also. Maybe Alex can join you too. We
yes.
have, yeah.
And I asked them about my visa because the visa is the number one issue.
Yes, yeah.
And then they said that, oh, no worries, they will help because there are some foreign monks already there, so they are quite familiar with the issue of the visa.
Okay, that's good news. But the problem is, will you be happy staying in the monastery? They are not. That's another issue that you have to maybe consider.
Yeah. So
or maybe you can ask permission to go stay somewhere else after you finish, after you have your ordination.
According to the project, they expect those who wants to participate, they have to at least commit to be able to last for one pansa. But if anyone wants to continue being in robes, then they will fully support it. But they are not allowed to move to other temple unless Ajahn
Yes, allow. Unless you need to stay with a teacher for 5 years. If you can stay with Ajahn Suchart, I think that's a good choice.
Oh, thank you so much. I was wondering because it's just happened so fast.
Yeah, good. Then you should take this opportunity. Come over. Okay.
So maybe and one more thing there, we will not be allowed to use any cell phone there.
That's right. That's good.
And we will stay at the platform like at Khao Chi On.
Good.
And the schedule, I follow your advice that maybe if I have trouble to discipline myself, so they are quite strict in a sense that I think, if I'm not mistaken reading it, they will have like a nesachik every day for like a full pansa.
Good.
So I don't know that one. I don't know. I can fast, but I don't know.
Maybe not every day. I think every Uposatha day, I think.
Yeah, I also think so. But it seems like because this is like a Meiji initiative, one of the senior Meiji there.
I see. Do they take woman for ordination also?
I think so, because the residents, I saw that many Meiji sitting at the group meditation at the relic at the Lungta.
And the JD.
And they have the residence for lay individual kuti. So I think many of Meiji they are allowed.
Maybe the female participant of this meeting might want to. How do they find out more of this information? Do you have anything to lead them to?
There is a website of the temple itself. It is called watsangtham.com.
Watsangtham.
Yeah, watsangtham.com. And for the ordination, it's called the watpa.com.
Watpa.com. Okay, thank you for your information. So you'll be coming this coming Saturday. Huh?
Yes, if everything is okay, if my medical certificate okay and everything.
I think on the 1st of July they don't require you to have anything anymore.
Yes.
If you come by the 1st of July, but before that you still need to have whatever papers they require.
Actually, for the flight I already booked, so I already got secured the flight. But for the ordination, they have a quite strict screening in a sense that I have to provide like medical certificate that's showing I'm not having any HIV or
communicable disease.
Yes.
And no criminal record.
The criminal record they don't mention though.
I see. Okay.
So yeah, and so I would like to take this opportunity because I don't know when will I be able to see you again.
I'm really happy for you.
Yes.
So I hope everything works out perfect. Okay. Keep us updated when how things are going. Thank you. Okay.
Thank you so much, Thanachan.
Okay. Anybody would comment on this on this news? You have more questions from YouTube.
For more questions from Paul Liang Soon. First question is, when a person takes 8 precepts, he will get more good merit, right?
Yes, he makes more merit. You'll be happier when he gives the 8 precepts.
And second question is, by practicing metta, how good is it for a person?
It's better to be friendly than not being friendly. When you practice metta, you are friendly to everybody. You treat everybody as your friend.
And
so you have no enemies. You don't treat anybody as enemies. Even if they want to be your enemy, you still treat them as your friend. This is what metta means.
And third question is, how should I practice sitting meditation seriously?
Just do it. Just tell yourself when you have to set up the time. Say, I will sit and meditate at 5 o'clock, at 6 o'clock, at 7 o'clock. You have to set up the schedule and then stick to the schedule. Then you're doing it seriously.
And
don't do because when you feel like doing it, and when you don't feel like doing it, then you don't do it. And this is not serious. To be serious, you have to commit yourself to a schedule.
And last question, how to control and stop our defilement?
By refusing them. Every time they ask you to do what they want you to do, then you say no. So just say no. When it wants you to go drink, you say no, no drinking. You want to smoke, no smoking. Want to watch YouTube, no watching. Just say no to your defilement. Okay.
That's
Have you heard this campaign? I think about drugs. Just say no to drugs, right? Same way, drugs are defilement. Okay, we have a newcomer, Somchai. You want to say anything, Somchai, from Pennsylvania? You have to unmute your microphone. No.
Okay.
No,
not for in the moment. Yeah.
Okay. Just nice to see you. Okay. We are about to end the meeting already. Okay. Anybody else? Okay, Alvin.
Yeah, firstly, I'm very happy for Siddhartha, very happy to hear the news. Secondly, there's one question I want to ask Tanajan. For Thai forest tradition, you have Dhammanikaya and also the Dhammayutika and Mahanikaya. So, like for example, someone ordained under the Dhammayutika, can the monk go to the Mahanikaya Thai forest monk to stay there, to live there? Is it possible, or is there any differences?
To visit, you can temporarily, but to stay, usually we stay in the same monastery that we ordain. So even if in the Dhammayut sect, we don't go from one monastery to the other without any real good reason. We stay just with our teacher. And unless we find that the teacher or the place we stay is not good for us, then we seek for another teacher. But we just don't go from monastery to monastery, just visiting and just, like things like that. This is not the practice. The practice is to stay with a monastery. Once you ordain, then you stick to the monastery that you ordain. unless you have some good reason for changing. But you don't just, take a holiday trip visiting that monastery, this monastery. No, that's not the case. If you want to visiting on the monastery, then you do it before you ordain, to find out which monastery is suitable for you. So in the Thai tradition, we have to, the Ajaan Suchart tradition, it belongs to the Mahanikaya, and the other belongs to the Dhammayut. So you have to, you can choose which one you want to go. If you want the Ajaan Suchart, then you stick to Ajaan Suchart. If you want to go the other route, then you go to Ajahn Mahabu's disciple, for instance. But we can visit each other, but just for maybe just as a courtesy or something. But normally we don't go visiting. Monks are not supposed to run around. Monks are supposed to stay put and meditate. Unlike some of the monks nowadays, they go visiting all places in North America. I see one going up to the Empire State Building and giving live broadcast on Facebook, visiting the Empire State Building on Facebook.
But during Vasa, Thanajan, you can go and choose a monastery and live there for 3 months, right? I mean, during the Vasa period.
If you mean as a lay person or as a monk?
As a monk. But I see some monks doing that, right? I mean, every year they could be going to different monastery to spend.
That's because the teacher who ordained them is not strict with where they stay, so they might be allowed to just change from monastery to monastery. But with some other strict teacher, like Ajahn Mahabua, you stay with him, he requires you to stay with him for the first 5 years with him. He doesn't allow you to go to different monasteries. So it depends on the teacher who give you the ordination also.
Right. Okay.
He's the one who will control your life once you ordain with that person.
Follow the rules.
Yeah. Whatever you do, you have to seek his permission. Like when I first wanted to ordain, I visited a monk near my house and talk about ordaining and practicing in the Thai forest tradition. And he said he's not in that tradition. If I stay with him, then I would have to follow his tradition, which is study the scriptures and do a lot of rituals, like funerals, birthdays, and things like that. But he said he recommended me that if I want to follow the forest tradition, I should go ordain with the Supreme Patriarch. Then he would allow me to go and practice with a forest tradition teacher. But that's what I did. I went and ordained with the Supreme Patriarch. And then after staying there briefly, I asked permission to go and study with Ajahn Mahabua. So he gave me permission. Once I stay with Ajahn Mahabua, then Ajahn Mahabua will then control my life,
Right.
Whatever I want to do, I have to ask for his permission.
You were there for 9 years, right?
Almost 9 years, but nine pansa, 9 rain residents, but not completely 9 years, 8.5 years. Okay, we have Pan Prom. Maybe she wants to ask something. Pan Prom, you want to say something?
Yes, right. Namaskaran, Ajahn. This is the first time that I use English to say about Dhamma. After I have some problem with the irritation or annoying when I focus something. I will, my mother said that I need to metta, แผ่เมตตา and then the irritation or annoying will
Irritation.
be.
Well, does it work? Does it work for you when you become, who are you angry with? Who are you irritated with?
Just for cannot focus when I have to continue.
Then you have to be kind to yourself, not get angry at yourself. Then
Yes.
just tell yourself that the reason why you're not focusing is because you're not having mindfulness. So you have to try to be more mindful.
More mindful is mean focusing or to reduce annoying
Yes.
with or surrounding.
Yeah, stop thinking or focus on what you do, reciting mantra, Bhutto, Bhutto.
I will like stop and listen to surrounding, and when the sound is disappear, I can focus on my job.
Okay, whatever method you can do, as long as you can reduce your irritation, then it's okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
Patu.
Okay, Somchai, you're back again. You want to say anything?
Yes, I mean, good evening to you. And yeah, I just remember you talked about kind of meditate and focus or some kind of. So I used that. Last week I didn't come to see you then, but I used and I remembered that when I go to work, so I use that meditate, focus, and do some, and always mind with me. So it's a pretty workout, pretty nice. So I just let you know about
You
that.
feel better. Your mind feel lighter,
Right.
less happier.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't come last week with the guy also. I mean, but I didn't get so upset or so mad at too much, like so angry. So it kind of calmed down pretty much.
Yeah, when you're focused, then you forget about other people. You leave them alone. Just keep watching what you do. Watch yourself.
Right.
Focus on your work, on your action.
Absolutely, yes.
Good. Keep doing it. And if we have time, meditate. You'll find your meditation will be better also, easier. Your mind will become calm easier.
Yeah, that's correct. So, and yeah, and I always think about before I sleep or before I wake up. You said putto, putto, before you go anywhere, and think before you do anything first. So it's a pretty calm down right now. Actually,
Okay. That's the way to make yourself happy.
Correct.
Okay. I think we ran out of time.
Oh,
all right.
So thank you so much. Then,
okay, you're welcome. Thank you everybody for joining, participating in this meeting. And I hope that this meeting will benefit you and help you advance in your practice. I hope. And in the meantime, please stay safe, mindful, stay mindful, and keep on practicing. And if all goes well, I'll see you again at the same time next week. Thank you and goodbye.
Sadhu cha tha.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Thank you, Danny. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye.